Okay, recording started.
Okay. So I guess we'll start then. This is the Newburyport Conservation Commission meeting of February 17th, 2026, taking place online on Zoom and also in the Senior Community Center. This meeting is being recorded. First item is to do roll call. So we'll do that. Dan Warshall. Do not believe Dan Warshall is here. Steve Moore.
Yes.
All right. Barb Riley is not quite on yet, I don't think. Julie Godfreyson.
Yes.
Janet Daisley. Daisley's not here. Reese, I hope I'm pronouncing your last name right. Reese Chimpity.
Yep, that's correct. Present.
All right. And welcome, Reese.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Glad to
I
have
just need
you.
to I just need to get sworn in hopefully this week.
Oh, okay. So then I guess technically we do not have a quorum then.
Don't.
Okay, Barbara is having some issues. I'm gonna email her the Zoom link right now.
Okay, then we will hold off on opening the meeting.
Sure. Where was she zooming in from? Yeah.
I'm not sure. Yeah.
Some ski area.
Okay.
Um,
Like on our same time zone?
I think so.
Yeah, that's what too. I'm glad. Really long next meeting.
oh, there's Barb.
Okay.
Oh, there we go. Very good.
Hey
Hi,
there.
Barbara. All right. Now we will I'll put you in the roll call, Barbara. Barbara Riley. Say yes or no. Or here. Or you're gone. There you are.
Yes, thank
Okay.
you. I don't know
Very
what's
good.
going on.
Now we have a quorum. So let's move on to certificates of compliance and requests for minor modifications. The first one, 20 Henry Graff Road. has been continued to March 3rd. The next one is 3 Stanley Tucker Drive. Chuck Brunel Dryer Systems, a request for certificate of compliance.
Yeah, I believe we have both Chuck and Jeff on, and this is for a building addition that was completed. It includes an underground stormwater chamber, and Chuck or Jeff, I'll let you talk through it, but I have ready to go photos from our site visit the other week, as well as the photos from this fall with the completed landscaping. So wherever you want to start.
Okay, yeah, so this is Chuck Brunel, and Jeff Brunel is also on the phone. We just completed our 10,000 square foot addition. We have our certificate of occupancy for the building, and we're looking to close out the conservation side of the permit. We've got our completed drawing of all the landscape as-built per the original drawing for the proper plantings. We had come before you about 6 or 8 months ago to get a change to the drainage system from the roof to this underground system that shown on the as-built drawing. Everything is complete. We did the site walkthrough and some photos there showing the clean out for the system, and obviously a lot of snow from the snow we've had over the last month or so, but I'm happy to answer any questions and just, looking to close the chapter on this part of the permit.
Yeah, so I believe, so these, is it correct that these pipes are capturing runoff from the roof, flows out here, and then there's some kind of inlet downgrade that would feed into the underground treatment chambers? Is that correct?
Yeah, so those are the overflows in that picture. So it comes down the gutters and then goes into the underground chamber system, and then through the pipe out to the wetlands in a slow process through the holding system there.
Okay, and I will just briefly show some of the photos from the fall before we had snow cover showing the plantings, trees and shrubs. And these were actually done in accordance for the planning board. There was not a special condition in the Concom permit calling for this landscaping, and maybe that's because it was during a period where there wasn't an agent, or the planning board kind of maybe took over that piece. But they are shown as well in the as-built. So there's pepper bush, serviceberry. I think there's some blueberry bushes, button bush. And yeah, I don't have any.
Curious why, I don't remember permitting this, but why you didn't do the rooftop stormwater management and went to the other?
Yeah, that's my question.
Curious why.
Because initially the building addition was a flat roof, and this is a one pitch roof. So the design of the building changed, which then is why we went before you for approval to the alternate system that is shown on this drawing.
My understanding is the original permit was issued to the previous owner.
Sam Powell.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
So we purchased the building with the approval for the building permit, and Zampel already had that underway. So when we purchased the building, we filed an extension to get the permit extended. So we had up to 2 years to do this project. We started the project and we did the project along with the project documents that they gave us, which were a little vague. We found out along the way that's why the rooftop wasn't made possible to use as the retention system. So once we figured that out, we rehired another engineer who came out and designed this system, which is in lieu of the rooftop system, because we weren't using the same type of structure as what it was. So it was a little bit of a different roof. As Chuck said, it wasn't a flat roof. It ended up being a pitched roof. So we had to do the gutter off the back into this system, which all the calculations were done by the engineer. We submitted all that. And this is what we ended up with.
Was there also a piece of this project that was like a bridge to the neighboring property?
So there
Okay, so-
was, when
Yeah.
Zampel originally did their idea, they had a bridge connecting to what their building, which would be from the way we're looking at this building to the left. But they didn't own that building anymore. We don't own that building, so we got rid of that part of it. And I guess that was some of the confusion too, because once that went away, we were told that we really technically didn't need to do all these plantings as well. Some things changed, but we were already far enough in the process where we already had everybody under contract, and we figured whatever we disturbed by putting in these trees, we're only making the situation better. So we continued on the path with what we figured the most stringent process to get the building to comply.
Yeah, that bridge was for, I think they needed to be able to transfer stuff between.
Fork truck.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, fork truck had
Yep.
to be able to go over it, and I think a tree or two were going to come down, and
Right.
so okay.
So that never happened. That never happened on the project.
Well, we're more than happy to see the landscaping.
Yeah, looks great.
Yeah, it should.
Okay. Do we have anything else for this?
I have no further comments. There wasn't really any special conditions, or unique special conditions, I should say. Just kind of the standard post-construction certificate of compliance requirements.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to issue the certificate of compliance.
Second it?
Okay. Roll call. Steve Moore,
Yes.
Barb Riley. Was that a yes, Barb?
Yes, can you not hear
Okay.
me?
Julie Godfredson,
Yeah.
and I vote yes. All right. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate
Awesome.
it.
Thank you very
Thanks
much.
for your time.
All right. What do we have next here? The next item would be 5 Basin Street, notice of intent. But that one is also continued to March 3rd. The next one is a notice of intent, Artichoke Reservoir alum treatment with Laura Demer of FB Environmental and the city of Newburyport. That's been continuing to March 3rd. Also, there's 13 Hale Street. Notice of intent that's been continued to March 3rd as well. And so our last one will be 82nd Street, Prince Boateng, Skog and Stone Sauna Company.
Yeah,
For
and Joe,
the RDA.
I'm
Go
not,
ahead.
that's sorry, you're correct, but I'm not seeing either Josh or Prince online, and they're not in the room. So I don't know if we want to give them a couple minutes. I'm kind of surprised because I just checked in with them on Friday, confirming that they would be attending, or at least one of them would be attending.
Are they trying to attend remotely? Because they could be having the same issue I had.
Well, during the site visit, I think they indicated that they would be in
Yeah.
person. You know, I could send them an email right now. Barb, what were the technical issues you were finding?
It just kept spinning, like I couldn't even get into the agenda.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, I didn't have any issue. I logged in with no issue here, so.
I tried like 3 or 4 times.
Hmm.
Turning off my computer and turning it back on and stuff just couldn't
but
get
when I
in.
emailed you the link, then it worked.
Yeah, it was fine.
Okay, well, I'll try sending last ditch effort here. I'll try sending them an email in real time.
We'll give them a minute. Otherwise, we'll just continue it to the next
Yeah.
meeting.
So I can't remember procedurally when there was a request for continuation, was there a vote generally? To
Yeah.
continue?
Yeah, because you have to choose a specific date,
Yes.
so we would have to do that, without that available.
Well, all the other ones that, are on the agenda is just being continued. Shown in their memo.
Oh, on those continuances, yes,
Mhm.
you're correct, yes, actually, thank you. All right, so we should go back. Joe, did you hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah, Gretchen's comment.
Say that again?
Oh, Gretchen just commented that we actually need to vote on all those continuances.
I thought we did vote on at least several of them, at least. Oh, okay. So the
Continue.
artichoke one, didn't we continue Five Basin?
We did at the last meeting, we continued to March 3rd.
Right,
It was on, no, it was not last meeting, the meeting before, it was on the agenda for the last meeting, but it had been. Or is on the, it had been continued already to March 3rd.
Okay, so then
Spaces had been continued previously. But
Well,
the other.
that's right. The artichoke one, that one was that one we didn't get a chance to talk about. Okay. So why
Yeah,
don't
this
we?
one has not been opened yet.
Okay, so let's oh, if it's that's not been opened yet. So do we even need a continuance?
I would believe, and so that's really like, in theory, it wouldn't even be on the agenda. The issue what that happened here is that we thought up until last Thursday that it was going to happen, and then we found out the legal notice was not published in the local newspaper on time.
Okay.
So we kind of at the very last minute had to push them to March 3rd, and I didn't have time to update the online agenda. So I would say that we don't need a continuance for that one because it hasn't been opened yet. But
Okay.
the others, and actually, did we hear 13 Hale Street? We have not opened 13 Hale Street for this NOI. We recently did a certificate of compliance for that
Right.
same
Yep.
house, but that was unrelated to this filing. So this filing is also, or this hearing has not been opened yet.
Okay, so we don't need that either.
okay.
But it's a good point.
So I just won't put them.
Well, I made a confusing agenda because we
Yeah.
had they actually same problem. They claimed that they had sent in the fee for the legal notice, but I checked in with Diane, our office manager, and she never received it. So that was a very last minute discovery.
So as
Okay.
long as it's still here on the agenda for any abutters or people to see when it will actually be open.
Right, yeah. So hopefully, I think now the legal notice publication is on my radar more so than it was, and it's unfortunate that those two things happened, but I'll definitely try to avoid that happening in the future.
So do we also have a time constraint to how much time can elapse before we open?
Well, I think until their filing fee is paid, their application isn't complete. So once it's complete, then that clock starts ticking.
Okay.
Yeah, the artichoke public notice was strange because it was a city filing, so they were exempt for some fees, but not others. And then 13 Hale Street, the applicant prefers to pay by check, and that check has not been received. The mail is taking a really long time. I don't know. But they say they sent it February 4th and we still don't have it.
Whoa.
Yeah. So I don't know what's going on there.
I think something is going on with the mail.
I noticed personally the mail has been really slow.
I just had something sent from the city to my home address in the city and get rejected and sent back to them saying undeliverable, return to sender.
That's so strange.
And it's just
I've had strange things
right?
going on, yeah.
so strange.
Okay, so. On the February meeting. Basin Street was continued to March 3rd,
Yes,
but it's on the agenda for tonight.
right, but
It shouldn't be on for tonight because it's already continued to
it
March
was
3rd.
already continued. We
Just
typically
give it
wouldn't
was
put it
today.
on,
Mm.
but it does say it's been on with that. No, continued to March 3rd, so I guess it's fine. Almost like a placeholder, but we didn't.
Yeah.
I can
Yes, it
remove
is.
that. Yeah, I think I have been thinking of it as a placeholder to be on everyone's radar, but
Yeah.
it is confusing.
It is.
Maybe better just to take it out if we know that it's only gonna be March 3rd.
The only reason I would think to do that, I think you'd go either way, but sometimes these things end up going on and on and on and on. And you don't wanna have to be carrying all these things on an
I
agenda.
think Five Basin is almost a year old.
Right, right.
Yeah, I agree.
Get less cluttered, but.
Those are good points. Yeah, I will definitely do that. And just kind of maybe, verbally remind us during the meeting that we still have some running items.
Okay, well, I'm inclined to, let's just do a continuance for 082nd Street, since they're not here.
I'll second it.
Anybody want to?
And I'll make a motion.
Okay,
Quick motion
I'll motion to continue,
to.
March 3rd. Barb, you want a second again?
Yeah, I'll second it. Yeah, sorry.
okay, roll call, Steve Moore,
Yes.
Julie Godfredson,
Yeah,
Barb Riley,
Yes.
and I vote yes. All right, so we're done with that. Now on to the meeting minutes from February 3rd, 2026. Anybody got any comments or changes? And because Gretchen's not here, right?
yeah, she is.
Oh, is she? Oh, she's it. Oh, sorry, Gretchen.
She's at
I
the
was looking-
table.
Sorry, I'm looking for you online.
She may be.
The cool people came to the senior
That's
center.
right.
So anybody got any comments?
The only comment I had was that you made a comment about Harbor Street, not including that in the minutes.
Oh, I did.
Can you-
Because he said a couple times, oh, we found this other place where you have approved this. And it's like, well,
Yeah.
it was his application.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, and
Agreed.
if they're always saying you don't set a every time they want something approved, they say, oh, this doesn't set a precedent. So then how do you bring it up
Then
at the
they
next
use
meeting?
all these
As,
things
"Oh,
as
yes,
you've done this as a
before."
precedent,
Right,
as a very strong argument.
yes.
For the case, yeah, I agree.
So I figured I'm not gonna put that in because it just adds.
Thank you for pointing that out.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second. All right then. Steve Moore,
Yes.
Barb Riley,
Yes.
Julie Godfredson,
Yeah,
and I vote yes. All right, what else do we have? Any updates? I have no updates.
Well, I think, I just wanted to thank Reese for logging on. Reese, I wasn't clear on if you had been sworn in yet or not. So I appreciate you, joining the meeting, and I thought it might be a good idea just so you get a sense of how we run these meetings. They're every 2 weeks, usually hybrid. And, I don't know if you want to say a few words to introduce yourself.
Yeah, sure. Well, number one, hi everyone. I'm very happy to be here. And also sorry I wasn't clear about the not being sworn in yet. That's probably on me.
Oh, that's fine.
But yeah, I'm a Newburyport resident, obviously, and I am currently a master's student at UNH. I'm studying integrative biology, so basically ecology, conservation, ecology, all that stuff. And yeah, I mean, I'm just generally interested in kind of bridging that gap between science and local communities when it comes to promoting kind of ecologically minded development and just general community. So yeah, I mean, I just want to be involved in local kind of decision making.
Well, we're happy to have you here, Reese. We're happy to allow you to assist us in that decision making.
absolutely. So glad you're joining us. Sounds like you have a great background.
Yeah.
And this was not a very exciting first meeting for you. Sorry about that.
There'll be more exciting meetings for sure.
Yeah, they'll be a little more organized too.
Yes. Yeah, thanks very much, Reese. The only other things I had, Janet and Barbara joined me last week for a site visit to the Artichoke River Reservoir. If anyone wants another opportunity to do a site visit, they're in the process of, Joe, we have 082nd Street applicants entering the room. So
Okay, then why don't we, let's go back to that then. We'll, I guess we're not continuing until March 3rd. Well, we can rescind that if folks want to do that.
Yeah, okay, rescind that.
May as well take care of it.
You're lucky you made it. I was about ready to make a motion to adjourn.
Okay, yeah, you're welcome.
We
to
had a short
stay.
agenda, so we got to you. But
Is it, see here?
Yeah, sure, anywhere is good. I'll get the project documents pulled up.
We saw the parking lot empty, so we were with the people who just left. They were like 6 of them walked out at once, so we said, uh-oh, is the meeting over? Did we miss it?
We sort of were on the last on the agenda, so we thought this is gonna be a 3-hour meeting.
yeah. Yep, we had a lot of things canceled or continued, so.
Yes. Okay, let me make sure I share. So 082nd Street, Stone Sauna Company, they're requesting a determination of applicability. They're looking for a negative determination. So they filed an RDA. I've shared prior to the meeting this cover letter, which kind of lays out their points. And I also have these site visit photos, which I'm happy to go through if the commission would like the applicants to talk through it. But other than that,
Sure.
I'll hand it over to the commission if you have any questions.
And why don't you just
So,
give
yeah,
us-
go ahead, Steve.
just give us a brief description, does it? You've been out with.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the full site visit with Kelsey, but I've seen the.
Yeah, what day were you guys out?
We were up there
Last week?
Thursday, and I'm just realizing we have Reese online who's going to be a new member. He hasn't been sworn in yet, but I don't know that he has any of the background. So if you wouldn't mind just maybe talking about what you're doing
Okay.
out there and what you have out there as far as the trailer and the sauna, that would be helpful.
Sure. So yeah, we're Scoggins Stone Sauna Company. We founded last year. And we actually have 2 saunas in operation now. One is at Plum Island, and one is at Evergreen Farm in West Newbury. The one at Plum Island is on the property of Captain's Fishing. So we have a lease agreement with George and his sons to have our sauna there for through April of this year. The sauna itself is it's a 7 by 16 foot sauna that's on an 8 by 20 foot trailer. And we have an agreement with George and his sons, to move it if and when any reason might occur. So, a flood or extreme weather, etc. So we're really kind of leaning into the mobile aspect of the sauna, of this sauna set up on a trailer. We're also located on an existing parking lot. So it's the parking lot that Captain's uses for their docks. So they have an extensive set of docks. They're enormous. There's like, I don't know, 10 or 12 of them. And they're huge, and they, stitch them together when they're in the water. So we're kind of sitting just alongside their wintered docks. You can kind of see a big one there to the right, we're to the left. And we probably can't see the detail, but it's a gravel parking lot. That does have like a pretty regular blowover of sand. And so it's a relatively windy location. But yeah, you can kind of make it out there, but that portion of the parking lot that's underneath where we currently are is gravel. And so, we're not really on sand or anything like that. And so, yeah, we're wood-fired sauna. We have, we're currently in operation. A lot of folks in town have been out there. And yeah, that's the basics.
So you don't have any permanent connection to water or, I mean, you showed us some plugs for electricity, but I think that's sort of a battery.
Yeah, we're completely off the grid. So we have battery. We do have a battery. We actually have 2 batteries at the moment because we need a little wiring done. But we run 2 very small interior lamps, and then an exterior more flood-like light for the landing and the stairs, all on battery. So we charge the battery and then run the lights when we need to. Usually we don't run them all day because it's plenty bright out there. But like 3:30, 4:30, we plug them in and use illumination.
And where is the battery? Is it on the trailer as well?
Yes.
It's already on the trailer.
Is it inside with someone, or is it, I didn't.
So not in this picture, but the batteries are typically to the right of the door. Although we're working on a configuration where we can keep a single battery under the bench inside.
So in our location in West Newbury and in Amesbury, where we have the batteries inside. The reason why we took this approach is, we know that Plum Island is a protected location, and we wanted to have an operation that's really minimal impact to the island. So we're on a location that's been used as a parking lot for over half a century, and we configured the platform to be put on a trailer, registered, and a unit that's registered as a vehicle, to be able to be at a location that's a temporary location that's has been a parking lot for a long time. In hopes of just not doing anything that's requiring a lot of development on the island. We know that the island, the Plum Island overlay does not allow any new development. So that was the reason why we took the approach of trying to do it this way.
So where does it go in April then, and when does it come back? Like, I don't understand the temporary nature of it.
Well, we will move it to a parking, a parking lot in somewhere in New Hampshire, and come back later. The captain's location, I don't know if you've familiar with it, you must be familiar with it, it's really busy in the summer months. That entire little place is used as a parking lot, during the summer months. Whether it's for people going to the beach or for your fishing and whale watching business.
Yeah, I mean, part of kind of another part of our business plan was to focus on businesses that are extremely seasonal and just try to work with them to provide additional revenue for them in their off season. So we've got a lot of interest from businesses such as Captain's, and basically our pitch is you're in a beautiful place, a gorgeous place. We're extremely low impact off season. We'll sign a lease and we'll pay for space in your off season. So they're generating revenue that they otherwise wouldn't generate. And it has very low impact on what they're doing. April, because once the warm weather starts up there, those guys are extremely active on that property. So we would be in the way. And so
and it's a similar approach that we're taking we just signed a deal with Amesbury to use the public dock by the Merrimack, where the new marina is going to.
Oh, yeah, where
Amesbury.
the restaurant is up there, yeah.
Right, so with Amesbury, with the mayor's office, we have an agreement with them until May 20th. And, come Memorial Day, people are, they want us out so people can do the emboldened season and activities.
So you guys don't get any income during the summer?
I mean, we're okay with it, right? We wanted to build a business where we're focusing on the other end of the tourist season.
Yeah.
The summer is gonna be busy with us trying to figure out other locations to go in New England, and so that's fine with us. It gives us time to focus on the following year.
Is there a vehicle
can you-
on site? Oh, go ahead, Barbara.
Oh, I was just gonna say, one of the things we talked about during the site visit was your ability to move this trailer in the event of a big storm coming, and
yeah, I
if you
think
could
that's what
maybe
you were about to ask.
tell us more about that.
Yeah, so we also have the company purchased a 3/4 ton pickup truck that we use to haul these trailers and saunas. So the saunas weigh 5,000 pounds. The trailers weigh another 3,000 pounds. They are heavy duty 14K trailers, so they are extremely sturdy. In fact, you can barely feel any wind, even when it's extremely strong. So, but we have essentially an agreement with Captain's that we can move a trailer within hours if we need to, or when we need to. So if there's a potential flood, for example, that's going to coincide with high tide and it's X number of hours away. I mean, we can be out there in it's 14 minutes from my house, first of all, so like that's pretty quick. We would then probably take half an hour to get it off the property. So you can see here we have an extremely unattached like snow barrier that we have around that comes down in less than 5 minutes, and you just roll that up. We would attach the truck to that hitch, and we can tow it away. So it's extremely mobile, and that was by design.
Is the sauna attached to the trailer, or is it?
It is.
sitting? Okay.
It is.
And so that black fabric is whatever that is that's what you're calling the snow barrier?
No,
Whatever that is?
Yeah, like, it's actually an RV skirt or something, I don't, I
Okay,
think that might be the term, but it comes from the RV world, and it's essentially, it's like 32 inches high, and we attach it around, so one, so that stuff can't like blow underneath the trailer, but two, it just looks a lot better, it looks a lot more stable, so it's visually appealing as well.
okay. So I guess a couple questions with that. I don't know if it matters, but, well, one thing that does matter is like you're saying that that parking lot does get a tremendous amount of wind blown sand.
Yep.
For sure, it's also getting a lot of wind blown snow during
Yep.
snowstorms and all that. But the sand in particular during storms, I'm sure Charles has talked to you about this. Like they've had to get dump trucks to remove the sand from that parking lot. So my concern with the location is that like you're in that zone, that's sort of a heavy duty weather wind zone and during floods as well, but hopefully you'd be out of there before a flood came, but
Yeah.
just the stand alone. Do you have a process for keeping a pathway around the trailer and to the pickup truck when if you were gonna need to move it
Yeah.
clear enough regularly?
Mhm.
That so that if they called you or you were like, we need to get this thing out of there, you wouldn't have to spend a day finding a dump
Right.
truck and some shovels to get.
Yeah. No, it's a valid concern. We have that concern as well. The wind blows it all away is actually what happens.
What do you mean?
There's like wind channels that kind of blow it around, and it happens to the docks too.
Okay,
So where it builds up, or where I've seen it build up is, like in other parts of the parking lot. But none is, some snow is built up that was plowed. But sand is not built up around the trailer, so.
okay, or I mean, hopefully that remains the case moving
Yeah.
forward. I don't know if it's wind pattern specific to just whatever weather we're getting or whether it's their actual location on the lot, but maybe just to be aware of keeping a pathway.
Yeah, I mean, we've definitely, shoveled several times and, the brothers are also the plow team for, you guys probably know this, but the plow team for the island, the Newburyport portion of the island, as well as a bunch of downtown. And so we're pretty lucky to
Yeah.
be like, they're clearing they're clearing the snow constantly.
they like playing with toys, they just keep buying. Bunch of trucks and things.
So the only concern I have is that you're in the V zone. And I don't know if that's a problem or not. And actually, Chelsea, if you wanna go back to the first pictures.
This one?
No, there was the one that showed the sauna and the dog next to it.
We'll look the side view,
That one.
that one, yeah.
Okay, so. Based on the drawing that Kelsey gave us. Then that dock that's next to the sauna is not in the V zone, or. And you had mentioned being willing to move the sauna to get it out of the V zone.
Yeah, I mean, it's come. Not the V zone specifically, but our conversations with the brothers. Have basically been like, yeah, you can put it wherever, if you need to move it. Based on conversations like this, you can move it, so.
Okay.
So they're perfectly willing to have us move it around, and obviously we would want to do that. The reason why we're there is because it was mostly timing, because they had just moved that giant dock in place.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't strategic really in any way other than like, oh, it's facing the river. It was just like, yeah, put it there, and then, we'll figure the rest out later. But that was the open space that they had. But they've said like we can plan differently in the future. They talked about at one point, after they pull that out, like we could be pushed back toward this,
Mhm.
closer to that,
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
yeah, I mean, it's already February, you're gonna be there till basically the end of March, right? Or,
Yeah, what's it, I don't remember the exact date, but it's sometime in April, yeah.
And is there a time, I agree with Steve on the veto thing, if there's any way to keep it out of there for so many reasons, but what is the time in order for this, because there's no new structures allowed in the V zone or the A zone.
Right.
If it is, it has to be, even if it is, it has to be elevated above base flood elevation, so that would be possible probably, given what the base flood elevation is, so it has to be temporary. And I don't know what that definition is under zoning, so like how many days can you leave it there before it's suddenly not temporary? And the reason why I'm asking also is we
Yeah.
just dealt with this on another site
Yes.
on the island where they built a
Which was
house
not a
on a
parking
trailer
lot.
and they said it's a mobile home and it was there for 5 years. So we're just trying, and it was in the V
What,
zone.
okay.
So that's what, this has just been sort of an issue, and so I wanna make sure that doesn't happen to you guys, so what are your,
I mean, our understanding is 6 months.
okay. And that's from zoning, under zoning? What gives you the 6 months?
I think that was from, just looking at, a lot of state. Like, regulations.
I think it did come from planning. There was some regulation, I think, that said 6 months. I believe I said that or saw it.
Okay.
So a lot of the state regs is, it's actually not, it's 179 days, it says, whether it's building or.
Yeah. And does this also have to be approved by zoning, because they would be the ones to start locally?
It's a different conversation. I mean, we've had extensive communication with zoning. The last correspondence that we sent to zoning was about a little over a month ago, and have not received a response from zoning. So just kind of waiting on. Everybody's aware.
Yeah, I mean, we're essentially in an appeal process with that.
Oh,
So,
Yes.
well, we're in a appeal process with, through the state with the building. Building, inspector, there's disagreement between the building commissioner and the building inspector on whether this is a building or a structure, and we're appealing it.
did they say they think they consider it a structure?
The building inspector considered it a structure, the building commissioner. From correspondence, considered it as a vehicle, and it's not in the purview of the building,
So when you say building commissioner, you mean our local building commissioner, or?
yes.
So locally, their city's considering it a mobile unit, but the state's considering it as.
No, locally, and from my understanding locally, when we approached the building commissioner, he considered it as a unit that's not within his purview.
Okay,
The building inspector within the city
yeah, oh, okay, Dennis versus, right, gotcha.
considered it as a building, and we have appealed that process, and
We're trying to stay pragmatic about it. It's registered and insured as a mobile unit. You know, so we're gonna pay taxes on it as a mobile unit. So that is the gist of our.
I was looking it up, and it looks like it's 180 days, consecutive days. And if it's longer, it has to be elevated and anchored to base elevation requirements. That's what it looks like anyway.
So more to come on that.
Yeah,
Right.
so I mean, so the,
Yes.
the thing is, we acknowledge that we're doing something that's unique, that's not done. Hasn't been done in the East Coast or even in the country. At the same time, there are older businesses doing something very similar to what we're doing, and the state hasn't figured out what their regulations are around what we're doing. We've spent time talking to the Board of Health at the state level, the ADA at the state level, and we don't have a clear answer. But that doesn't mean that what we're doing is illegal or not allowed. It's just, the state will think about it as food trucks. When food trucks started 10 years ago, people were just confused as to what is this,
Yeah, it's a little different because food trucks tend to move around during the day.
Yeah.
So my main sort of aside, let's put the zoning issue or whatever that disagreement is aside from just the Conservation Commission's regulatory standpoint. I feel like I understand what you're saying, and if this is mobile and it can be moved, you can look at it like it's a food truck, etc. If it's technically going to only be there for 180 days and it's classified as a mobile thing and it's on the parking lot, etc., I can see how it could be permitted. My concern is that it doesn't feel like a RDA to me, and for the reason that not because there's impacts happening to the dune, but because it is in a resource area, and with multiple resource areas. And because there would have to be some conditions associated with this. And typically when you have to put conditions on an approval, that's not an RDA, that's a notice of intent, because you have to record those are special conditions, which is an order of conditions. So that's what goes into an order of conditions, not an RDA. And the guidance we always get from the state is if you have to put conditions on a project, it should probably be in an order of condition. And so you can add like one or two small things to an RDA to a negative determination. But once it starts becoming involved with resource areas and things like that, then it kicks it up a notch. And so that's my one sort of
What conditions?
sense about this.
Would you consider?
That it has to be moved after 180 days, that there has to be, the area has to be kept clear, that this, certain things have to, I don't know if we really want the edges around it, because the whole point is for, you don't want stuff blowing under it, but that's actually a very major performance standard for anything that goes on the coastal dune, is that things can blow and move underneath it during either wind blown or water or anything else. So those are sort of the things that come to mind in terms of conditions, and maybe I'm wrong, maybe those are the only three things, and the rest of it's totally fine. And it could be an RDA, it depends on, I don't know how the rest of the goes.
Well, I think that Charles isn't gonna allow them to be there more than 180 days, because he wants the parking lot. So I'm not sure that we need to condition that.
I feel like we totally need to push that, because otherwise it's a structure, if it's not gone, it's a structure, and then then it's a new building on the V zone.
Okay.
And so back to the V zone thing, I think you had said that that dock is not in the V zone.
Well, I'm
So-
basing it off of the hand-drawn thing that Kelsey.
I looked up, and I pulled it online, just went to the FEMA's National Flood Hazard Viewer, which is a very kind of almost rudimentary GIS, so it's not
Okay,
necessarily an accurate flood delineation, but it's like that area where the sauna is it's hard to tell, it's like right on the line of the A zone and B zone.
okay,
So I kind of put it to the commission that it's either partly in the V zone or entirely we can't tell, but it's really close, if not entirely in the V zone. Yeah, it is, it runs kind of like right through,
Okay, so like through the parking lot, cause like, yeah, through the parking lot is here,
right.
but
And the GIS map, is all we have to, so if we don't get like a flood delineation, we rely on that, so it's all we have. But, I will say the GIS map on FEMA's website is definitely does not always match field conditions. And if we get like a professional delineation that was done on the site, then that would trump the GIS map we find online.
Okay.
But that's what we're looking at, that's the information we have to go on at the moment.
I know it looks almost completely flat there, but there must be some change in elevation, but
Sometimes the GIS maps are silly, like they'll show floods, where you go out in the field and like it's clearly not, but again, in the absence of a delineation, use the FEMA map.
I just sort of wondering if they were to move it, upland a little bit, not in the V zone, but I guess what would prohibit the current owners from, putting their dock there?
What do you mean?
what do you mean?
Moving something else in that place. Let's say they swapped places.
Yeah,
Well, they've already got some of their docks in the V zone, I think.
Yeah.
well, that's permitted, that's water dependent use,
Yeah.
that's also probably part of their chapter 91 license, but like, to me, that's completely already a permitted situation.
So if they just move it to a better location outside the V zone, there's no issues, right?
I don't know, I don't know that it even, at this point, it would even make that much of a difference, because it'd be the difference between the A, is that the AO? Or
Yeah.
the B, which have very similar regulations under our ordinance, so it's almost irrelevant, if both areas would be on parking. I guess my main concern is that, like, maybe it's just that because this is, like you said, it's a new thing, we've seen this before, and we don't have, with the RDA, or maybe it's what, what was submitted with the RDA, have good drawings of the actual sauna, inside the sauna, how the whole thing works. But we don't have very good information as part of the application on the trailer. You can't even see the wheels in the picture. There's no elevation drawing of the trailer to even show. So if someone else were to look at the application, they would have no reason to believe that that thing isn't just sitting flat on the ground. So if there was more maybe information as part of the application that could give people the confidence to see, oh, okay, here, this thing is gonna move. This is where a diagram that shows this is where the truck would be parked. Here's the route to get in and out. These are the wheels. This is how high the trailer is elevated currently above the ground. That type of information then goes, okay, you can check those boxes off that it complies with the regulations in those ways. But right now, we have the pictures that Kelsey took at the site visit, but we don't really have anything as part of your actual filing that shows that. So that would help a lot to like answer those questions and kind of like,
Yeah, I understand why you have that skirt around it. But we really like to see the sand move.
Yeah,
So would help a lot to remove that skirt, I think.
the only problem with your skirt is that if sand piles up underneath it, that's harder to drive it away. It's sort of like a toss up there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, for me, as far as the skirt is concerned, it's kind of right next to the dock too, which is higher than the if you took the skirt out, the dock is blocking everything too. So I don't know how much difference that's really going to make. But I like the idea of a better explanation, pictures of the undercarriage of everything Julie just talked about. That would be my preference.
And what would really help is a determination of where the visa is. Although it's the V and the AO of the visas.
Yeah, I mean,
This line?
it's all gonna be,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's the V, no. That's not the V zone line, is it?
yeah, I think it is. That's the difference between the V and the AO. And it's the
Cause I,
limit of moderate wave action
Yeah,
also.
I believe that's correct.
So you're supposed to be able to expect wave action in there, which is why it's, pretty. You don't really want a new structure in there, but again, that's why if something, if storm was coming, if you're getting a astronomical tide and storm at the same time. You pull it out.
When you say wave action, you mean like, extreme high tides or?
Well, they
or
call
during
it,
storms?
that's delineated by FEMA, and they call it, and the state of Massachusetts calls it the limit of moderate wave action. It's a new coastal flood delineation zone where they expect to get wave heights up to 3 feet during a flood or a storm situation during a year storm. So,
Oh, okay.
that's why they have more stringent regulations within that, and that's everything to the left of that, like,
So this is the limit of moderate wave action.
yeah.
But this is the line to the V zone and the AO zone.
Okay,
So.
got it. Yeah.
Assuming it's labeled correctly. So actually. This is parked cars.
Oh, is that what those are parked?
These are parked car, yeah, I think that's a middle of summer.
You're right.
We're pretty much right here.
So if you wanted to get out of the V zone, if they moved that way. Those, well, that's what it's.
Yeah, I guess according to this map, the AO would be kind of to the right if you're looking at the image the way we are.
Basically where the dock is.
Yeah.
I think so. Again, according to this GIS.
Right.
Well, it can't be too far off, can it?
I mean, some FEMA stuff is pretty far off, and others is right on target, you never know.
Right.
It depends, I mean, George, the Charleses might say that it never floods out there, they get this mounds of sand.
Yeah, so. George, I've been running over there for the past 10 years and been talking to George. And according to him, the only time that it's ever flooded there was in 1978.
That whole part.
That story.
Yeah.
But he said since he's been there, it's never flooded there since that particular winter.
Yeah. And that's where FEMA sometimes gets it wrong because they don't know the dynamics of all that sand piling up, they just don't, so. We have to go with what the maps say, but.
Yeah.
In terms of your comfort level, putting that thing in the V zone.
I mean, on the other end of it, this probably doesn't really matter to your determination, but like, we also have made a lot of investment in this particular platform and are not interested in having it float away. Right, notwithstanding the environmental,
Right.
It's much too heavy to float away, but.
Right,
But it would, the salt water probably wouldn't be kind to it.
No.
Yeah.
It would just kind of destroy it and.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so what I'm hearing is we need to talk about the mobileness and what our plans, our contingency plans, how we would actually do that. Like, we can show how, we would come in and get the trailer and pull it out, and explain all that, take pictures of the trailer. You can see that it's a 2-axle trailer. We can give you, I don't know if we've given you like the model of the trailer and all that stuff.
I think all that stuff, even though it seems like doesn't seem relevant, it totally is, but also it answers the question so that then the commission doesn't have to put those in conditions. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You don't have to write special conditions because you told us.
Right,
everything
understood,
already.
yeah.
That makes it a lot easier.
Yeah.
I agree. I mean, we were, out there and it looks like it is everything that you say it is. It's just, putting it in writing would obviously take any kind of questions out in the future too, if this was looked at again.
Do you think in the
Okay.
future, that if this works out, you want more than one out there?
I mean, we're
We could
trying,
get space.
yeah,
I
so,
mean-
like, we're trying to balance. Josh and I spend a lot of time outside. We love, I run on this island like every single day. We love the uniqueness of it, the nature, and not overdeveloping it, right? So our vision is not to have like so many saunas out there. On the other hand, the demand for like Friday to Monday is significant. We cannot meet the demand, so we're going to other places. Our goal is not to, and I know the concerns that a lot of boards have, which is, a fish shack shows up and then all of a sudden it's a restaurant, right? Like Bob's Fishing was just a small, no, Bob's Lobster was just a small shack, and then all of a sudden it's a restaurant, right? So that's not that's not what we're going.
It becomes a giant spa.
Right, exactly. We're not. Our vision is not to build a bathhouse at the beach. But the George and them have been, welcoming and have said, if your demand is more, you can, if you're interested in putting an additional one. But I don't think, we don't know, right? We want to expand to other locations. We're working on other locations all the way up to Portland and, so we're not trying to be coy on the answer, but, we don't know.
I mean, I could definitely see us going in that direction. I mean, one thing that surprised me is George and his sons, like their acceptance. Like they're actually the ones who say, yeah, like if there's a better place, like let's move it to a better place. If you ever want to add another one, we can do that. And like, they've been overly accommodating. I think they see it as a bolster to their business, which I don't think we were originally thinking much about that. We were just thinking, oh, we're in the off season using, a pretty unused space in the winter. But I think they see it as a business driver of, their fishing charters and getting awareness for their business. So they've actually mentioned it to us before we've mentioned it to them. So that's been interesting. The locals love it. The locals, I think the Plum Islanders want more things to do out there. So they've asked us many times, can you stay open later? Can we do stargazing and saunas? But we're not quite ready to do that, but
Get an astronomer and then like a telescope.
yeah.
I have a glass ceiling.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we gotta install a glass ceiling.
That would probably fog up.
Right. Yeah.
And I think a lot of it, what people are not understanding, what we're trying to do, most of our guests have been like nothing but wonderful. Like, nobody's like throwing trash anywhere, causing any issues. It's just, I don't know, it's just a family and, people on dates and
Yeah, I think half of our bookings are couples, like 50% are two people coming like as a date or time together.
How many people fit in the sauna?
It depends.
Yeah.
So our answer on that has changed. We say roughly 6 for mixed groups that don't necessarily know each other. And then groups that know each other can get, 8, 10. We've also talked, and I think we've even had like a little corporate retreat type of group. And they can get like 8, 10, 12 because they spread out. not everyone in the group needs to be in the sauna at the same time. Those types of groups will do 2-hour reservations. And so you don't sauna for 2 hours straight, like you.
Like that, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's been interesting. We at our West Newbury location, there's gonna be a corporate retreat, I think in March. Where like a corporate group's gonna come in, use the sauna as kind of like one of their health and wellness stations. And we've had some interest for this one too, so. It's interesting, a lot of things we wouldn't have considered or thought of. One women's group a couple weeks ago, they were doing the sauna and the cold plunge, so they were exhilarated. Like people who do that are like amped up a little bit because they're doing the extreme. And I talked to them for like 10 or 15 minutes as they were leaving, and they said, we realized that whenever we hang out, we have to drink because we have to go to a bar because that's like the only place we can hang out. So we liked coming here because there was no pressure to drink alcohol. We could just hang out and jump in the ocean. So that was an interesting one.
Yeah.
You should check it out.
For anyone who goes into.
Yeah. Yeah, so
Where would people park? Like if you had, are they parking in that parking lot or somewhere else?
yeah, so right, I don't know, if you look at a picture, up, like off to the right back there toward that large Grange building, there's delineated parking right in front of that. Plenty of parking, there's like 6 or 8 spaces, that's where everyone parks.
And most people come in groups, so even when we have like a full space, the maximum parking is 3, 4. Which doesn't, in the winter, it's nothing, but in the summer, it's something, right?
I mean, I've been shocked the other day when it warmed up, it's almost 40 degrees. I mean, there was 30 to 40 cars there of just walkers who would come down to I'm talking about the bigger lot.
Yeah.
And there were just a lot of people over there. But there were still only, 3 or 4 cars in our space. I mean, that's the thing, like, it's very different from like a gym or a fitness center because we can only have 6 people max or 8 people max. Like, we just can't go over that ever. And so people have said, oh, we want like, I want like a monthly visit card. And that doesn't actually make sense for us because, a very small number of people have the entire space reserved. And so that's been interesting too. So the impact, I mean, the impact at any given time is extremely minimal. And in fact, the people there's dozens of dog walkers and they're having a lot more impact than just the people who walk to the sauna and back. So it's really minimal. I'm happy to say. Also, another thing I think we mentioned when you guys came out, but there's no waste from the sauna. There is ash, but we take the ash away in our truck and we take it to the farm because they use ash. This is the Evergreen farm where our other sauna is.
So it's wood fired, you said?
It's wood fired, yeah.
So is that furnace like actually inside the unit under it? Like, how does that in there?
Yep. Yeah, so it's a Harvey stove, so Harvey is the leading stove brand. Very small and efficient wood stove. We use kiln dried wood, which burns pretty clean and efficiently. And that we also had it fully insulated. So like like it's actually, we're using way
Yeah.
less wood than we thought
Yeah.
we would. It's really efficient, actually.
And you can keep the temperature, this is totally off topic, but you can keep the temperature controlled that well. with one of
Yeah.
those
Yeah,
stoves.
yeah, I mean, it takes a little bit of skills,
Yeah.
working fire.
Yeah.
This is, I mean, when I was a kid, I used to love playing with fire and I used to get in trouble, with it, and now I can legitimately learn how to control fire, but yeah,
So
we
you guys
can,
be on
we-
top of it.
yeah, and we have somebody there hosting it, so
Got it.
we decided to take the approach of having somebody on site all the time. To be able to control the fire, make sure
Right.
people are safe
Right.
and.
Let's get
Keep
you
it at
hot,
a temperature that they would prefer.
Yeah.
Some people prefer 170.
Yeah.
Some people, like 200.
The ambient temperature really affects it, so. If it's, 5 degrees, feels like 5 degrees, it's gonna take more attention and feeding than when it's 35 or 40 degrees. When it's 35 or 40 degrees, that thing just stays hot.
Yeah.
Like, there's very little. You just put one piece of wood in an hour and it stays really hot, yeah. So.
Interesting.
Okay, then. So,
Yeah,
what do we want we're looking at a, continuance for this? Commission?
Yeah, I think till for our next meeting, which is March 3rd.
okay,
We're here,
are we here? Yeah,
we're going to Finland in March 10th, but yeah, we're here. March 10th.
okay,
So you can get that stuff that we asked for.
yep,
Okay.
Okay. All right,
What if,
yes,
I just want to make sure that next time we have exactly, would it be possible, Kelsey, to reach out to you just to make sure that we understand what's being asked and.
Yeah, maybe I can I might want a day first to
Okay.
kind of make sure I have everyone's questions from the commission or the things you guys want to see. And once I confirm that with the group, maybe send that to you.
yeah,
Might be early next week actually, because I'm out most of this week.
That's-
But yeah, I'll get that to you and then we'll all be on the same page as far as what
Thank you
they're
very
looking
much.
for. Yeah.
great, thanks.
okay, yeah, thank you. I'll take a, motion.
Motion to continue to March 3rd.
Second?
All right, roll call, Steve Moore,
Yes.
Julie Goffredson,
Yes.
Barb Riley,
Yes.
and I vote yes. Alrighty. Now, on to, we already approved the
Yeah,
minutes,
thanks very much.
correct? Yeah, thank you.
Also, happy to have any of you out for a
Yeah.
sauna if you're interested.
We don't know if it's appropriate to invite you to check it out, but we just found that when people actually check it out, it's just easier to understand what we're explaining and so if it's appropriate, we'll be super happy to.
We can't do it for free.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, we'll charge you then.
We've all had.
That doesn't apply to me.
Yeah, yes.
I said you didn't want to do it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Alrighty, we don't have much, did you have any other updates, Kelsey?
Yeah, I had just been saying that for anyone who's interested, there'll be another opportunity to do a site walk at the Artichoke River or reservoirs. So like for example, Reese, I don't know if you're familiar with where they're going to be staging equipment. I think Janet expressed interest. I think many of you are probably familiar with the reservoir area, but the city is in the process of bidding a contractor who will kind of be launching barges into the reservoir from which they'll be doing the alum treatment. So I think the trickiest part of that project is going to be how they're staging and launching. I think they're using a barge and then they're using a smaller skiff. So anyway, on February 25th at 9 a.m., the Water Division is doing a site walk with their contractor, and they opened it up to both us and the West Newbury Conservation Commission. So any interested parties can attend, and they'll be meeting at 9 a.m. at 293 Story Avenue. Barb, that's the same place we were last week. It's a pump station.
Right into the dam.
Yeah,
Okay.
yep. And I think they might be starting there and then driving to the bridge. What's it called?
Long Spring Road.
Thank you. Yeah.
Where they're doing construction already.
I know, yeah, the water division is working with the construction team, and I might even try to use their crane or something. I'm gonna plan to attend because I've been to that location, but I think it would be a good opportunity to ask some questions. So I just want to make everyone aware of that.
So that
I'll send an email around tomorrow as well.
there's the upper and lower Artichoke reservoirs.
Yeah,
The upper one is in West Newbury.
yes, yeah.
That would be a whole different,
They are applying for an order of conditions through West Newbury. They have to do both. So they asked, kind of informally if we could try to align our permits as much as possible. I think we just do what we think is right. But I'm sure when they come in to speak, they'll make that request about aligning. And they're working, there's some time urgency for them because they're trying to treat in time, but before the temperatures rise. And so they're planning to be here March 3rd. And that's it. The only other comment is I'm in the office tomorrow, but I'll be out after that until Tuesday. So I'll respond to emails and stuff as soon as possible.
Okay. All right, anybody got anything else?
motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
All right. Okay, all in favor? Aye.
All right.
Opposed? I don't care. All right. All right, folks. Have a good one.
Good night.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about something if you're done officially.